Hello, my name is Juan Nieto, and this is my final project for my class, and it's an expense tracker. It's a web app I built using Node.js and Express on the back end, SQLite for the database, and just regular HTML, CSS, and JavaScript front end. So a little bit, I'll walk through how it works. This is the main page right here. At the top, I got these three totals. How much I spent this month, my all-time total spent, and the number of entries I've recorded. And so everything updates as soon as you add an entry or remove everything. So let's try adding an entry, say $10, and you give it a description, I don't know, groceries, and now choose food and dining on this day and click record entry. So it updated here, and my totals at the top updated, and it shows up right here. It came there. So say I made a mistake, I can click the pencil, it'll come back right up here, and then I could change it to maybe, I don't know, $40, and then again it'll update everything automatically. And to remove an entry, I would click the X button right here next to it and then delete the entry. It's gone, and everything again updates. You could also filter this ledger right here by the drop down of the months. So say April, I only spent this in rent, and maybe June, this is what I spent. There's also a search box so you can find whatever you spent on. There's Chick-fil-A. And then we could filter the category, say food and dining. This is what I spent on food and dining in the month of June. So we can see how like the table narrows down to just an entry. Put it back to everything. Over here in the categories, these are all the default categories that are set by the app once you run it. But you could also add new ones. So say, I don't know, subscriptions. You could choose its color, whatever you want, and you add it, and now there's a new category: subscriptions, and subscriptions. So it all updates automatically. And they could only be deleted if say they have 0. So subscriptions has 0, you could delete it. But housing, you can't delete it because it has spending on it. This panel shows the spending breakdown, broken down by categories. So you have these bars and then the amount of what you spent it on. The widest bar is, of course, the one you spent the most on. This is the monthly trend, and it shows the spending per month. The tallest, of course, the longest, the most you spent in the months. And under the hood of this whole thing, I have it's powered by a REST API, endpoints for expenses, categories, and summary statistics, which I documented in my user guide, including every endpoint and parameter. And yeah, that basically covers the core functionality, adding, editing, deleting, filtering, managing categories, and viewing your summary. And that was it.